Welcome. Our group of stations here serving Arizona is doing a very, very special thing beginning this week. And the entire series is called Voice for a Better Arizona. And for a better Arizona, we really better concentrate, as we are this first week, on education. And who better to do that with Pat's personal portrait, Carolyn Warner, former Superintendent of Public Instruction, and now that we've got the former out of the way, currently a consultant across the United States in the field. The company is?
Corporate Education Consulting.
Well, consult me right now and tell me what you think about Chicago.
Somebody's needed to consult you for a long time.
And so it begins, right? Over the years, Carolyn, buns. I want to know about Chicago. You as an educator, I want you to reflect back now that it is, at least from the labor management standpoint, solved.
Settled.
Give me a review quickly of what happened in Chicago.
In Chicago, contracts were up, and negotiations had begun, been going on for a long, long while. Chicago teachers were looking to have wage increases, obviously, and other benefits continued. The city and Rahm Emanuel and the board had decided that it was time for austerity and they were going to pull back. A typical relationship, not necessarily common, but typical.
But at the expense of the kids and parents.
Okay, perhaps not. I have to take the side of the teachers. I am so tired of teachers being paid less than any other professional in the field. Any other profession is paid more than school teachers. And we have cut funding for education to the extent that there isn't a teacher in America that does not reach into their pocket, take out money to buy supplies for their classroom.
There are voices right
students.
now saying, but they're averaging $76,000 a year in Chicago, and we have limited time. So let us talk about not the salary increase, but that part that is applicable to Arizona, evaluation. How do we determine whether the good teachers are as good as they should be?
That's fairly simple. You give good teachers the same high-level ability students on a regular basis, and they will do exceedingly well. But when you have a classroom in which all of the students that were there at the beginning of the year, most of them, if not all of them, are not there at the end of the year, different students cycle through, it is very difficult to evaluate teachers on the basis of student achievement. But if you have a middle-income neighborhood where there is constancy, that is one of the ways to evaluate teachers.
What is right in Arizona about
There
education?
are some things that are right. There's much that's wrong. We are at the very bottom of student-teacher pay. Our students are at the very low end of the amount of money that is spent to educate them each year. I think Mississippi is beneath us, but that's it. Our legislature has cut education in Arizona over the last few years more than any other state in the nation. But there's some good things. One of the good things is the new Common Core. That is going to make it easier to do, number one, the former that you ask about, evaluate teachers, a Common Core curriculum. And that curriculum is not a national curriculum. It is developed by all of the states and the chief state school officers in each of the states. And that curriculum then will be somewhat uniform throughout the country. Only four states are not using the Common Core. That's good. That's a good thing for Arizona. It's going to help our students. It will help our teachers. The problem with that is that we have no funding to retrain teachers in teaching this Common Core curriculum. So it is going to be hit and miss at the beginning, but eventually it will lock in and begin to have a major impact. The other good thing that's happening in Arizona, in my view, is we have something called the Arizona Skills Standards Commission. And that is a group of people, business people, that have come together, and I co-chair this group with Secretary Huppenthal. I say secretary. He's not Secretary of Education. He is Arizona Superintendent of Education. He's not Arnie Duncan. and that may be a good thing. But that's an aside. But in any case, John Huppenthal is very committed to building a workforce for Arizona that is well educated in both academic education and the skills needed to get, keep, and advance in jobs.
With only seconds left in this all too brief look at Arizona education.
Arizona Skills Standards Commission is one of the outstanding things in Arizona. We assess every student that completes a career education program, give them a certificate and a transcript that they can take to a future employer.
And briefly, will we improve vastly in Arizona with more charter schools?
I doubt that. Charter schools, by and large, are when they're evaluated, are either at or below what the standard public school is achieving in terms of student learning.
Aren't you glad you stuck around? I mean, I know the answer, because it's always yes when the guest on Pat's Personal Portrait is Carolyn Warner. On KTAR.com,